Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the DST, or Diamond Slect Toys, Invincible action figures. We have both Invincible and Omni-Man. Now I missed the pre-order of these things a long time ago, and they seem to be selling like hotcakes. They're sold out at the majority of places. I kept checking Amazon, now they're finally out. Kept seeing third-party sellers for $35, $40, $45, etc. Kept checking. Finally got my pre-order in at $24. And here these guys are today. Now I hear the show's fantastic. When Amazon started to ship these figures, I started watching the show last night, watched the first episode, and I enjoyed it so far. Really curious to see what comes next. So let's check out the packaging. As you can see at the top, got a little warning. Invincible Deluxe action figure. An Amazon original Invincible. Here's Invincible, the package. Looks like we got a couple alternate heads, a bunch of different hands, a flight stand, a baseball, and there is something else in the package. Can't quite tell what it is from here. One side simply says Invincible. Other side, same thing. This is the first figure in the line. On the back, here's Omni-Man and Invincible, father and son. The bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody. Here's Omni-Man. He also has an alternate head, a bunch of hands, a baseball glove. Don't see anything else, but we'll open up shortly. Amazon original Invincible. Here's his barcode. On the back, got the two figures. So no further ado, let's open them up. Alright. Now that we have these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. They come with quite a bit of stuff. Omni-Man and his son Invincible. They come with a couple of display stands, some concrete rubble from a building. You can see the steel beam sticking out. Omni-Man has two heads, 6 alternate hands, totaling 8 interchangeable hands, one of which is a baseball, one has a baseball mitt. Invincible here, he has 2 heads, 5 alternate hands, totaling 7 interchangeable hands, one has a baseball mitt. Then they have 2 baseballs. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figures. So this is Omni-Man and Invincible, the father and son. Omni-Man is more or less like Superman, and his son is just starting to get his superpowers. I just started watching this show, only 1 episode in, so as I'm told, I have a nice ride ahead. In this video, we're going to look at each of the figures individually. We'll check out their accessories, height, and articulation, and then we'll compare them with a whole bunch of other action figures. So let's go ahead and look at this little building piece first, as it's pretty much for both the figures. A large piece of concrete in here. You can see a lot of damages, scuff marks, and it's got all these sort of steel bars sticking out. This is really cool. It can be very useful in my action figure world. They also come with a couple of little baseballs. Very small. The detail actually looks pretty good. And another one here, and it has a trail. It's going very fast. I remember the 2 of them, they would play baseball as a pastime. So let's start off with Omni-Man. First of all, the display stand. The display stand sucks. This thing broke by just damn near looking at it. Put it in there, tried to use the hinge, broke right off. Didn't even put a lot of pressure on it. The way it really works, you can attach this bottom piece here into the display stand. God, this one feels like it's going to break too. Yep. What a piece of shit. Come on. So I totally gave up on the stands. The stand would also plug into a little hole in the back of the figure. But whatever. Those stands suck. Terrible quality. Super brittle. Let's move on to the figures and hope I have better luck here. Here's Omni-Man. 8 hands. 2 heads. That's about it. Let's take a look. Start with his head here. He's got that stern face, sort of standard American, square jaw, long mustache, short, sort of military haircut, gray on the sides. Has an animated look to him. Going down. Articulation does look a little bit basic. Single jointed elbow. Looks like a ball joint here, probably kind of limited. Diamond Slect style, sort of hip area. Single jointed knee. It kind of works. He's his typical sort sort of hero-looking character. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. He has a total of 8 hands, 4 left hands, and 4 right hands. Here he is, with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Then, his next pair of hands. These are some flat hands, some flight hands. And here's his third pair of hands. These look to be some grabbing hands. And here's his final pair of hands. One's holding a baseball, and one has a baseball mitt on for when him and his son are playing baseball together. Now let's look at his heads. He has 2 of them, one with a normal expression, and one with an angry expression. Here he is, with his first head. This one has the more normal expression. Then, with his second head, this one has the angry expression. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.3 inches tall, which can translate to about 18.5 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. You can look up about that far, down about that far. Not too much, but not too bad. Can tilt his head a little bit from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint only goes out about this far, less than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Bicep cut. Single jointed elbow goes in 90 degrees. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint his torso, rotate around, forward and back. Kind of limited. His legs, complete as splits. Diamond Slect style hips. Go forward about that far, back not much. He's got a thigh cut. Single jointed knees, about a 90-degree bend. Then his ankle, forward and back. Tilt, rock, no traditional rotation, no boot cut. And then we have Invincible. It's Omni-Man's son, just discovering his powers. He has 7 hands and 2 heads. So let's take a look. Starting with his head here. Got those bug eyes, kind of reminds me of Blue Beetle. Hair sticking out. Yellow, I don't know, sort of half mask, or whatever you want to call it. Suit is black, blue, yellow. Much thinner body, a lot leaner, younger. Looks like single jointed elbow, single jointed knee, very similar, sort of basic articulation style, these two for today's standards. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Has that animated look. Pretty basic design. And here's Invincible broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now we'll check out his accessories, and we'll start off with his hands. So he's got a total of 5 hands, 3 right hands, 4 left hands. Here he is, with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here's his second pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. And here's his third pair of hands. These are some flat extended hands, some good flight hands. And he's got 1 additional left hand. This is his baseball hand with a catcher's mitt. Now for his heads. He has 2 of them, one with a normal expression, one with an angry expression. Here's his first head. This one has the normal expression. And his second head. This one has the angry expression. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, staying about 7.0 inches tall, which can translate to about 18 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, you can rotate from side to side. You can look up and down about that far. Tilt his head a little bit from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out almost 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a bicep cut below that. Single jointed elbows, about a 90-degree bend. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint his torso, rotate around, forward and back. Traditional Diamond Slect style hips. Forward about that far, back about that much. Thigh cut, single jointed knees. Then his ankle, forward and back, tilt rock. Here's Omni-Man and Invincible playing baseball together, father and son. This is literally superhero baseball. Here's Omni-Man attacking his son Invincible. They're in a huge pile of rubble. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures, starting off with some other Diamond Slect Invincible figures. Here are the Series 1 Invincible figures on the left, and the Series 2 figures on the right, Eve and Robot. And technically, they also made Shrinking Ray. It's an accessory with Eve. You can now pre-order the figures from Series 3, and looking forward to expanding the collection. Omni-Man here totally reminds me of Homelander or Superman. They have pretty much the same type of powers. And Invincible here totally reminds me of this Booster Gold and Blue Beetle 2-pack. The color scheme is pretty much the two figures mixed together. You got the bug eyes of Blue Beetle, the young, smiley, sort of cocky attitude of both of them. And he also reminds me of Superboy, being the young, cool hero, son of Superman, etc. Now let's check them out. Next is some action figures from different various companies to see how they fit in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix them with. Since they're Diamond Slect toys, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some other Diamond Slect toys. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from Diamond Slect, all 7-inch scale. Then, next is some more Diamond Slect toys. And now, next is some Jack-specific wrestling figures. Here they are, next to a big ball of lint from the dryer. And here, next is some McFarlane toys. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here they are, standing with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next is some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here they are, next is some Mezco 112 collected figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here they are, next is some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here they are, next is some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next is some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, there's some pretty cool figures, based off a pretty cool show. I've now watched both episodes 1 and 2, and I'm looking forward to progressing through the rest of season 1. The figures do look kind of basic. I get they're based off the sort of simple animated look, and it translates okay to action figure form. Also the articulation, I mean, it's not 5 points of articulation, but it still seems very basic. Single jointed elbows, single jointed knees, the Diamond Slect hip style. They are still very nice figures. I'm happy to add them to the collection. The accessories are pretty cool and very appropriate for the figures. Articulation, nothing groundbreaking. Accessories are cool. Sculpted paint job are pretty nice. If I were to rate these guys, probably going to give them something like a 6.5 out of 10. They definitely could be better, but they're still nice for what they are. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.